Good morning. Welcome to Morning Review on Wednesday, the 2nd of March. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, yesterday we ended up with this sort of doji type candle, almost spinning top. Um, Quite a lot of indecision, and we saw that through the day, through the hourlies. Really, there was particularly in the morning that we had price action, but it was relatively choppy. It sort of got up, pulled down back, came down, went back up, pulled back, and quite a choppy day, making some moves hard to determine. Today, where we're sitting at the moment, well, it doesn't look massively clearer at the moment, and the range from yesterday was pretty tight, so the pivots have rather pinched. So just coming back to the well, I don't really need to here because we can see pretty much what we've got. Really, the story we've got at the moment is the lower highs and certainly lower lows as we went through here. Where we got now, are we going to put in a bit of a base and break this trend line? If we do, we could move up towards yesterday's highs in the R1 sort of area. So that's where we see it now. We've been close-ish to that 50 MA, but that 50 MA may be a reasonable target en route towards the R1. So there's the possibilities there. At the moment, what I would tend to do is obviously draw my trend lines as ever, and a break of the lower trend line would see us potentially coming back down to test yesterday's lows in the S1, which is pretty all lined up. Ranges are very tight, relatively, so making the opportunity quite light. Now, on days like this, it's probably more likely we'll see the R2s, S2s come into play. Pound dollar then. Okay, now the pound dollar's sort of trying to grind out a bottom by looks of things. It put in that reversal day where we put a new low in, but then closed up on the day quite nicely, and we followed that through, making a bit of a pivot swing. Today, if we break yesterday's highs, where we could be on for the monthly pivot at some point, nice retracement in the end yesterday at 4 o'clock all the time on the 4 o'clock 4-hourly bar here, which has seen us starting to push up there. But again, yesterday was really one of those days, particularly in the morning. If you look at this, I mean, I'm on 7 o'clock bar at the moment here. 7 o'clock was up, 8 down, up, then down, up, down. It wasn't the easiest of markets to read throughout much of the day. It eased up a little bit and became a little bit more consistent through the afternoon. But quite a lot of sort of whipsaw-y sort of price action. However, as I say, we are, with the difference between this and the euro really is the fact that we are actually sort of grinding out sort of higher high here, higher low, and it's sort of just about sort of there. All over is today's pivot, so that's probably as far as we're going in that respect. So where are we going to run to? Well, I was looking like this and thinking, well, break of this morning's highs or the Asian session highs could see us back into yesterday's highs, and that R1 may be a shove through towards the the 4-hourly 50, I believe that is. Yep, and the getting towards back into that weekly pivot, perhaps a bit further. Any sell-off this morning? Well, we've tested this 50 MA. It's certainly an obvious target, but it has been air kissed and tested. Just wonder how strong it will remain. But any sell-off may see us run down here. Personally, with these sort of intermediate time frame moves, I'm erring towards the upside there and the R1 at the moment, and the fact that price is above the pivot as well. Okay, dollar yen. And well, dollar yen is softened, which is suggesting there's a bit of risk, not so much looking to safeguard their positions and get a bit risk off, and perhaps moving towards a continued upside here. Bullish engulfing yesterday, you'd expect a continuation. We have run into the daily 21 at the moment, but if it can break through that at some point, maybe it could shove up a little bit further. On the 60-minute though, we have got a bit of divergence there, so maybe as it's missed its daily pivot, a break of the low trend line here could see a move back down towards that, but the 21 moving averages may provide support underneath. Aussie dollar. Well, through the Asian session, the data came out on the GDP, and this proved to be a slightly positive surprise. And we saw quite a kicker from that. It's only a 0.1 surprise, although the previous was upgraded as well. So all in all, it's pushing back up to this sort of region where we've seen a lot of activity, a lot of supply in the past, and it's looking like it's just breaking off it again after looking at the hourly at the moment, and it has put this sort of divergence into its R2 area, which makes it stumble at this block. I mean, a 0.1 gain is not massive, so it's had quite a move from there. It'll be interesting to see whether it pulls back somewhat. Still got an untouched daily pivot, so if it did start selling off, maybe a big target from where we are now in terms of points wise. It's even from the current level, I'll say that's 66 pips. It's not 60, yeah, 66 pips. Devilish. So there is a possibility it could be pulling back, at least if it can break that 8 moving averages, maybe to the 21s. Okay, that's pretty much it on the Aussie. Canadian dollar, let's just have a quick look at that. And well, big gain against the US dollar yesterday. It sold off quite strongly. Moment we're seeing, so let's just need to check on oil what's happened. That seems to have stabilized somewhat. Yep, yesterday it's sort of doji bar there, but it's pushing up a little bit at the moment. But certainly it's not. We haven't been seeing the sell-off that was hitting us. So a mixture of relatively buoyant news and the equities are going up, and we're seeing the US dollar sold off, and consequently we're seeing that occurring a little bit here for sure. So let's just come down to the 60-minute, and we've got an untouched daily pivot above us. Just run back into those 21s. If it can shove through here, maybe if it does continue to the upside, we've got the 34.50, so it's plenty of resistant points. If it could catch a daily pivot, maybe it could give it and break. There's a trend line along the lows here. We could see a bit more of a continued move. I like the continued move opportunity for the S1 pivot. So yesterday it was just sleeping all morning, and then sort of shifted around 1 o'clock with some half decent GDP data coming through, with the monthly figures coming through again, slightly better, and certainly gave a bit more of a kicker and a continuation. So for now, looking, let's say, potential for further downside, but I'd prefer to see a break of this trend line first. Okay, news-wise today, well, we've already had the Aussie news coming out, and we've got construction PMI coming out at 9:30. Later on, then we start picking up because it's news week, as in jobs week. Sorry, we've got the ADP figure coming out at 1:15. It creates a little bit more volatility around that than it used to again. So looking at 1:15, and then well, crude oil inventories may just give the oil price and hence the Canadian dollar a little bit of a shove at 3:30. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you have a great day. Bye for now.